Hey lady, welcome to the Grit, Growth, Grace podcast. If we haven't met, my name is Anne Marie. I'm wife to James and mom to 4 beautiful kids, plus 1 miscarried baby, from 9 months up to 8 years. My hope is to help other women experience the postpartum period all the way up through the first year of baby's life as a time of grit, growth, and grace. This is episode 4. Today, let's talk about how to get support postpartum when your extended family or family of origin isn't able to help, whether your baby is a newborn all the way up through 1-year-old. I want to make a distinction from the get-go about what unable to help means. It might mean your family isn't able to help at all, period. Or your family may not be able to help regularly, consistently, or in the way or ways that you most need. I think this is the more likely case most of the time. Not that your family can't be involved in your and your child's life at all, but that the help is not enough, or it doesn't come in ways that are truly helpful to you. There are lots of reasons you may not have enough help. Your family or your in-laws might live far away, so maybe your mom, as an example, can come in from out of state to stay with your big kids while you're in the hospital to give birth, but after that, she's got to head back. In another example, your family or your in-laws might be regular caregivers for their own aging parents, or perhaps their physical health is poor. It might be the case that mental health concerns prevent your parents or in-laws from committing to regular visits, or prevent you from allowing them to visit regularly. There are many reasons that your family, whether it's your family of origin or your spouse's, might not be able to show up in the ways you desire. Let's pause for a second before we get into the practicals, because I want to acknowledge the emotional component at play here. The gap between our perceived needs, by which I mean how often and what types of help we believe we need, and the real life help we actually get can be very stressful, especially when we're sleep deprived and learning lots of new other skills at the same time. Thoughts like, why can't she see I need help and get it together enough to come? Or, why don't they prioritize me and our family over this other commitment that's clearly less important or less urgent? Or, I've been there for them in their time of need. Why aren't they returning the favor now that I need help? These thoughts can feel undeniably true and very heavy. And the question behind these and similar thoughts often boils down to, why am I not important enough to them? You probably already know this, lady, but often other people's words, actions, and motivations have nothing to do with us. Often they're a reflection of the other person or people, not of us at all. Bluntly, we often, and this includes you and I, think mostly about ourselves. When someone else doesn't prioritize you, you might be tempted to wonder, what did I do wrong? I invite you to step back from the situation just a couple feet. We're not looking for a bird's eye view here, just a little bit of distance. Is the current behavior strikingly different from the ways this person or people typically behave or behaved in the past? You might say, no, it's not that different, but this situation is different. I need help with my big kids, or my laundry, or my dishes, or my meals, or getting to doctor appointments, or all the above right now. Why can't they see that this is special? A few weeks back, I talked to an OG member of our grandma tribe. Oh, cat's out of the bag. Your grandma tribe is going to be key to getting help when family can't be there. So I talked to this OG grandma tribe member, and she's 76, and she recounted how her own mom didn't show up when she needed her to, when she had very young children and had to have emergency surgery and then recovery. And this woman asked the logical question, why couldn't my mom get it together when I needed her to in this emergency? And what this woman went on to share with me was that her mom was just acting like she usually did. She was just acting the way she always did. Under stress, her mom didn't change her behavior. And in your own situation, lady, you might be thinking, why won't this person make an exception? Think back to taking final exams in school. If you usually got an 85, let's say, on regular tests, I bet your final exam score was 85 max, but more likely a little lower. Under stress, we tend to perform a little worse than we did previously or in practice, not lots better. My invitation to you now is to take a few minutes today or tomorrow to acknowledge the discrepancy between your needs and what your family is providing or did provide. I'd love for you to acknowledge to yourself and to God the pain of unfulfilled expectations, whether that's out loud in prayer or on paper, We're going to get to the good stuff, how to adapt, how to be flexible as time goes on. I promise. We'll get there, I promise. But please don't ignore the real emotions you have. Refusing to acknowledge emotional hurt, avoiding it, actually confirms to your brain that that lack, the help you're not getting, is dangerous to you. If that lack weren't dangerous to you, you'd face it. So when you don't face it, you're telling your brain, I'm in danger. And that pain will come back over and over and over and get stronger and stronger until you choose to sit with it and let it be. That's how you tell your brain and your body, I'm not in danger. I may be uncomfortable, but I'm not in danger. It might be fruitful for you to bring your thoughts on all this to spiritual direction, to confession, to a Mennonite Catholic 30 for 30 coaching call, which just means you pay $30, you get 30 minutes one-on-one with a coach to work through really sticky thoughts, like something along these lines would be. Okay, terrific. So let's recap real fast. For whatever reason or reasons, your family can't help as much as you'd like, but you still need support. How can you get it? First up, I'd love for you to brainstorm who can help me and what can they help me with. I start this in the first trimester. That's right, the first trimester of pregnancy. It's super casual, but sometime during the first trimester, I write down on a notepad who comes to mind when I ask this question. Who can help me and what can they help me with? You'll notice I don't write down what my needs are right away. I write down everyone I know who wants to help or who I'd like to help me and what their strengths are. That's on purpose. I want to set myself and others up for success by playing to their strengths. James Clear, author of the best-selling book Atomic Habits, says that the first law or rule of behavior change is make it easy. I want to make helping me as easy as possible for other people to increase the odds that they'll help me, especially if I need regular, consistent help. That's why I start with who can help me and what can they help me with. And keep in mind, this is a brainstorming session. It's okay if underwater basket weaving doesn't seem to be a match for your immediate postpartum needs. Just write down the people you know best, those you know want to help you, and what they're good at. Playing to your family's strengths, maybe you can't count on your mom to show up for you once a week, or once a month, or once in anything, on any kind of schedule, but maybe you know she'd love to fill your fridge when you get home from the hospital. Maybe your mother-in-law doesn't cook, but you know she'd be happy to hit subscribe now on a HelloFresh subscription box. Once you write down as many people as you can think of and what they're actually good at, you'll start to see, hey, I've got some options here. Next, I want you to think about forming your grandma tribe. There, I said it, your grandma tribe. Finding your grandma tribe is the number one most helpful thing you can do to get help if your family isn't an option or not a regular option. Notice I didn't say find your mom squad. Don't get me wrong, mom friends are awesome. But if they're in the same boat as you, they may not be in a position to take all your kids to the park or for the day or to run out and pick up groceries for you. They may be your texting ride or dies to remind each other of the humor in postpartum or motherhood in general. But your mom squad may not have the bandwidth to help you out physically, especially regularly. Your grandma tribe is called that because I found grandma-aged women tend to have that beautiful combination of desire to help plus time and mental energy to help. Several of our grandma tribe members have grandchildren out of state who they don't get to see in person much, or their grandchildren are now grown up, high school age or above. Grandma tribe members could also include single women of any age. Our grandma tribe includes my best friend, who is nowhere near grandma age, but who sets up the meal train after each baby and takes my big kids out for fun adventures, like most recently a firefly walk. Our grandma tribe also includes a lovely single woman in her 50s who is fabulous with kids and plays a mean game of sorry. How big should your tribe be? My rule of thumb is to have one grandma for each child in my family. Brownie points or extra credit if you have more than one per kid. But what do the grandmas do? This is where the magic happens. There are no cookie-cutter grandma tribe grandmas. The one stipulation is that each grandma tribe member is present with some regularity or consistency in our lives. One of our OG Grandma Tribe members, along with her husband, is our first call in case of emergencies. We called them when I went to the ER for a bleeding scare when I was 10 days postpartum with baby number 3. And last week, they watched my kids so my husband and I could volunteer at the pork chop booth our church does as a fundraiser at the county fair. Early on postpartum, these friends took our kids several times in the first few weeks to play at their house and give James and I time with the new baby, by which I mean time to sleep. Another OG member comes every single Thursday for an hour and a half to play with all the kids. Sometimes they walk to the splash pad, sometimes to the playground, other times they play in our yard. But I can count on her like clockwork, except when there's a quilting convention. Early on, this most recent postpartum, she watched the 3 older kids so James could drive the baby and I to our pediatrician appointments. I also have 2 other grandmas who come once or twice a month. One's a retired teacher who comes to do arts and crafts, which is especially awesome because I do not love arts and crafts. The other is a retired early childhood education specialist who reads some books she borrows from the library. Now, my kids will tell you that up to this point in their lives, I don't actually let them check out books from the library because I don't want to deal with the hassle of books getting lost or destroyed. So they know that they read books when we go play at the library or when our Grandma Tribe member brings them over. You are probably wondering, how do you find your Grandma Tribe? You may need to put your reticular activating system, your RAS, to work for this one. Your RAS is the part of your brain that after you buy a new vehicle now sees every single one of those on the road. What we focus on expands. What we focus on expands. So I'd love for you to pay attention, low key, just as you go about your day and week. And ideally, while you're still pregnant, I'd like you to pay attention to who helps you or who offers to help. The magic words you should be listening for sound something usually like, let me know how I can help, or let me know if you need help. Now you might be thinking, Anne-Marie, people just say that. Not to me, they don't. If you say those words to me, I'm going to give you a chance to help. I have found our Grandma Tribe members through church, through Bible study, through the Community Women's Club, and through our community and neighborhood in general. Should you pay your Grandma Tribe members? No, this isn't babysitting. I certainly recommend having babysitters, but this isn't a business relationship. It's not transactional. These are people who want to help you. Now, do I try to recognize them and show them we love them? Absolutely. My kids draw pictures, write thank you notes to them sometimes. We invite them for birthdays sometimes. I'll make them cookies or arrange grocery store flowers for them occasionally. I'm definitely shooting them a text on Mother's Day. They're getting Christmas cards from us. But we're inviting them into our family. It's a gift to be needed, and we are offering that gift. It won't always be received. It might not always be understood by everyone we offer it to. But the ones who stay in our Grandma Tribe members, they understand and they receive it. I want to make one last point here, and that's this. Our Grandma Tribe members are helping my kids, but they're also teaching me how to mother. For instance, our 76-year-old OG Grandma Tribe member is teaching me not to take my kids' behavior personally and how to keep loving them even when they're being buttheads. The most important thing she does is not walk away when they misbehave. No matter how they are, she keeps showing up week after week. And that's a real gift to me, for her to love them unconditionally and teach me how to do the same. So that's my number one suggestion for what to do when you don't have enough or enough family help. Next episode, we're going to keep on this theme of getting help, going beyond who can help me and what can they help me with to what's most important to me and who can help me with these specific things. And one last thing, if you're enjoying this podcast, do me a favor and share it with one other mom, and then hit subscribe or follow and rate it. That helps a million. And if you've got questions, feel free to message me through my Instagram @GritGrowthGrace. I'll talk to you soon.